Hello to everyone. Thank you all for joining me at this time. My name is Shavi Zane, and I'm coming on to do a message for um, those of you who may be struggling right now to accept some truths in your life. Now, I do recognize that many of the people that are regular uh, people who are regulars to coming back to see my videos, many of you have healed from a lot of past traumas. Many of you have had major breakthroughs in your life. And you're also in that position of awakening where you understand things from a higher level of consciousness. My goal here at this time, I've been led and drawn and guided to reach out to those who are still asleep, to reach out to those who desire to have a change in their life, but they refuse to see the truth, okay? And so, for those of you who have been drawn to this message, if this resonates with you, then I hope my hopes is that this will really help for you to have some breakthrough so that you can really awaken to what's going on with you and to that I can be a light to help guide you down your divine path so that you can move towards your freedom, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. And so this message might be triggering to some of you. Okay, so I do want to put that out there because I plan on diving deep past the surface of what's going on. This can go way back into childhood wounds, but I've been led and called to do this. Okay, I've been hearing that there's a lot of people that's refusing to accept the truth and that are receiving offers to, the Most High is trying to give the opportunity to come out of that place of discontentment and dissatisfaction with life so that you can get up and start moving again and have that passion, that zeal for life again, that inner happiness and inner peace and balance. And so I will be pulling the cards from multiple decks, and towards the end, I'm going to give you some advice in terms of what you can do. If you desire a private reading from me, please be sure to email me. And also, for those of you who are interested in my hair growth oils and my skin oils, I've had a few people that have been inquiring about that. You can also email me for that as well. I do not have a website for that. I do it right here from my home. And so we can exchange information if you want to look into that. Okay. Now, let me go ahead and get started. I'm not sure how deep this is going to go, but I do sense that it's getting ready to get pretty deep. So let's go ahead and get started and see what needs to be brought to the surface at this time, okay? And how I can help you with that. You feel you're not smart enough, okay? So some of you might be discontent and dissatisfied with what's going on with you right now because there's some part of you that feels inferior. There's some part of you that feels that you don't possess what is necessary to reach certain goals, okay? Or to come out of certain situations and to be able to successfully move forward in a new direction. And so when you feel like you're not smart enough, then you accept less than the best in life, okay? And that goes with your relationships, your friendships, your work environment, um, pretty much everything in life. When you feel like you're not smart enough, it tends to be mirrored in other ways in your external circumstances, okay? And so there's a discontentment there with yourself in terms of how you feel about yourself right now. Release and heal the past. Forgive. So, yes, this is something about the past here. I feel like this is largely stemming from your childhood. Um, there's some things that need to be released at this time, some things that need to be healed. Forgiveness, okay? When you carry unforgiveness in your heart, you are doing a disservice to yourself. It is not a disservice to the person that actually harmed you. Okay, it's actually to their advantage because, especially if they're in that energy where they get some sort of sick satisfaction or gratification from bringing harm or pain into your life, then they have won as long as you are still in that energy of bitterness or unforgiveness. And this is why it's so important that you understand that forgiveness is for you. The other person can benefit from your forgiveness if they're willing to forgive themselves. But the forgiveness is for you so that you can release yourself from the stronghold of those things that they have done to you in your past. And so that's where healing begins. You cannot begin to heal until you actually recognize that forgiveness is necessary. Forgiveness does not mean that you allow these people back into your life, especially if they still have not changed or if they still have not put in the work to um, show you that they are worthy of your trust, okay? But forgiveness looks like accepting what happened, healing from it, and knowing that you can't go back to change anything from your past, but you can change your perception of what took place in your past, okay? So it could be something that happened to you in your past, in your childhood, that made you feel in your adult life that you're not smart enough or that you're not good enough, okay? And because you're still holding on to unforgiveness, then it mirrors in a way where it causes you to feel insecure about yourself. So let's see what else is coming out here. Drinking has kept you from breaking free. So some of you have been dealing with alcohol addictions, okay? And you use the alcohol as a way of numbing yourself. You use it as a way of putting you in a position where you can unsee the past. But all it does is only a very temporary false sense of pleasure, okay? And when you're done drinking, by the time you sober up, you're left with the energy or the feelings of guilt, shame, embarrassment, especially if you find yourself overindulging to the degree where you are completely not cognizant of your behavior, or it causes you to become more aggressive towards the people that are closest to you. And it's also what it's doing on a physiological level is causing your body to become more acidic, which makes you more susceptible to diseases and bacterias. And on a spiritual level, it also welcomes in, because you become the perfect host to receive lower level entities into your spiritual vessel, okay? That's why they call it spirits. When you see liquor stores, they have spirits on the top, because it does call in lower level entities, because at that point you are operating in a very low vibrational energy when you are intoxicated. And so if you find yourself drinking to avoid having to face the past, then what ends up happening is it becomes a habitual thing where in your sober moments, all you feel is discontentment with life. In your sobriety, you're only able to focus in on those losses that you have taken, or how unhappy, or how things are not moving forward for you. But you have to understand that it all begins with you internally. It all begins with you healing. And so I'm seeing that the sacral chakra is definitely compromised here. Your sacral chakra, which deals with, if it's overactive, then it'll cause you to have pleasure seeking behaviors. And so drinking is coming out as being one of them. And it's you're only doing it to try to numb out the past that you have yet to heal from. So let's see what else is coming out here. It's the lower entity attached to your lover, okay? There is a lower level entity that is attached to the person that you are lying next to. For many of you, okay, this might not resonate with everyone. Obviously, it may not resonate with everyone. And if you find that this message is not for you, but you might know someone who may need this message, then send it to them. You know, no word goes out void. Even if they seem like they don't want to accept it, send it anyway, okay? Or share it with someone that you feel this may be relevant to. But there's a lower level entity that is attached to the person that you are sleeping with. Whether this is someone that you are with every night, or this is someone that you find yourself calling up every once in a while when you drink. Excuse me, this could be a drinking buddy. But this person is very much so in a low vibrational energy. And quite naturally, when you are operating from a space of discontentment and unhappiness, and you find yourself living in your past, then what happens is you tend to attract to you people that will pretty much mirror the past. They'll be in a different body. This is a totally new person, but they'll actually be a mirror reflection of what it is that you find yourself focusing in on from your past. So, for instance, if you had parents who were alcoholics and they may have abused you in some way, And you find yourself in this position now where you have not been able to release or heal from that situation. You have not been able to forgive them for that. And so you find yourself thinking about it a lot. And they might have made you feel as if you wasn't smart enough. They might have told you that you wasn't good enough. They might have been verbally abusive to you when they was drinking. Whatever the case may be in your adult life, because you've yet to release that stronghold in the spiritual realm to those people that caused you that pain, you will attract to you people that mirror what it is that you focus on from your past. And it's only happening that way because the Most High structured it in that way, where life will be a mirror reflection of those things that you need to release. And until you release them, you'll continue to attract the same type of scenarios, the same type of karmic energy. And it's always used as a wake-up call. But unfortunately, so many people are drowning in pain and drowning in the past that they refuse to see that these are lessons that are being shown to them that they're supposed to heal from, learn from, and grow from, and move on. And so I find that you are in this hamster wheel of the same type of cycles, the same type of people you're drawing into your life. This particular person that you're dealing with, they have a lot of demons that they are not facing, okay? And it's hovering within their spirit. And so when you have intercourse with this person, y'all are literally exchanging that lower level entity, the one that you carry, from the things that you've yet to heal from and the ones that they carry. And so those soul ties that you all are making is actually further, is causing further damage on you spiritually. So you're not only carrying the weight and the burden of your pain from the past, but you're also carrying the weight and the burden of the person that you are sleeping with, that you are attaching yourself to. Okay, let's see. You have here, they are using you for money. Okay, so this could be the lover who has this lower level entity attached to them, who is very materialistic in their energy because they don't know how to rise above that. They're very much so in their carnal nature, and they live on the surface of who they are as well as on the surface of those things around them. So they're overly focused in on materialism. They don't have an appreciation for who you are, but quite naturally they wouldn't have an appreciation for you, who you are. Not saying that it's acceptable, but they don't appreciate who you are because you yourself have not been able to find appreciation for who you are. You are not operating in an energy of self-love if you find yourself indulging or overindulging in alcohol in order to numb yourself out, because you're having so much of a hard time releasing and healing from the past and forgiving, and feeling as if you're not smart enough. I personally feel there's no such thing as not being smart enough, only because we have whatever it is that you want to know, especially in this time, this day and age, is it's a finger click away. It's a library trip away. It's a video away. It's a Google a search away. Whatever it is that you want to know, if you want to feed yourself with new things, if you feel like you don't know enough, maybe in a certain area of your life, then all you have to do is take the time out to educate yourself, to inform yourself. You know, you deserve that. You deserve to be knowledgeable of what's happening with you internally as well as what's happening with you externally. But if you are overly focused on those things that's not going to lead you into that direction, then naturally you're going to always feel as if you don't have what it takes. You don't have enough because you're not allowing yourself to sit down long enough to be still and to be silent so that you can learn. And so it's not that you don't know enough. It's just the fact that you've accepted a false perception, a false identity that somebody else gave to you in your childhood, someone who didn't know themselves either. So it's been a generational curse, a domino effect that has been happening from one generation to the next. And now you find yourself holding on to those same demons that might have been passed on to you from your parents and their lack of healing from what took place with them in their childhood. And so now you find yourself attracting to you people who are trying to use you, people who want to abuse you, people who want to make you feel lower than you already feel about yourself. It's like the type of people that will kick you while you're down and that'll tell you that you're not worthy of anything except for giving them what you have materially. And so you drown yourself in alcohol to avoid having to feel, to avoid having to see. And because a large part of you feels that you don't deserve to have better, you hold on to these people. They trauma bond you and make you feel as if, you'll never do better. You'll never have better than me because they're insecure. Your parent is your stumbling block. Your parent, whether it's your mother, your father, or both, is the stumbling block for you. This is a large part of what is happening when it comes to having to release your past. And for many people, that's a hard pill to swallow, right? Because many people don't want to have to accept the fact that your parent could literally be the karmic family member that you have in your life that was placed around you to keep you from rising to your divinity, to keep you from becoming bold as the lion and stepping forward and growing and expanding and coming into a higher level of consciousness, to keep you from moving towards your divine purpose and becoming the greatest version of yourself. A lot of times it'll be the people that's closest to you, mother, father, sister, brother, that best friend, okay, that work partner, that business partner, whatever the case may be. But what I'm seeing for you specifically is that your parents have been a major stumbling block in your life, and that even today they maintain that energy in your life, whether they're still living, whether you're still connected to them in the physical, even if you don't deal with them. Let's just say you released yourself from your parents physically, like you don't talk to them often or you don't live near them. They are still a stumbling block in your life because there's some part of your past that you've yet to heal from and that you've yet to forgive and to release. And so if they played a major role in that, which I strongly feel that they did, then while you may have walked away from them physically, spiritually, they still have a very strong hold, a strong cord attachment to you. That umbilical cord has yet to be cut in the spiritual realm. And so if your parents are the type of people, because I'm even hearing that your parents might even be using you for money, for some of you, okay? We see that there's a lover that you're dealing with that's using you for money, but I'm also hearing that your parents may also be a large part of making you feel as if you're not anything, you don't possess anything more valuable than being able to give of those things that you work hard for. And if you don't give, then suddenly you're useless to them. Suddenly you have nothing to offer. Suddenly they pull back and they have nothing to say. That suddenly they're no longer calling, okay, or they're not checking in. I'm seeing here that there is a lot of emotional abuse that's happening here. There's financial abuse that's happening here. You yourself are now perpetuating that same abuse by abusing yourself through over drinking, okay? So let me see what else is coming out, because I will be giving you some advice. I'm not just here to call you out and to say, well, this is what's happening. And, no, I want to be able to connect with you in a way that goes deeper than the surface so that you can say, okay, I can identify with that because this is what's currently happening with me. And I recognize that these are things that I have decided to push to the side, and I've decided I refuse to accept the truth behind what this is. Because accepting the truth would mean that I have to change. Accepting the truth would mean that I have to really face myself and acknowledge the fact that this is the case. I might have to actually accept the fact that I have to release some people from my life that I've had a hard time letting go of because they have been a large part of the codependency. Anytime you have a blocked sacral chakra, then it's going to be a codependency that you have. So your codependency, from what I'm seeing here for many of you, is drinking. And so a mirror reflection of that would be people that are codependent on you. That's to reflect the codependency that you yourself carry. You end up having people that become codependent on you, whether it's financially, emotionally, physically, whatever the case may be, because they're there to teach you a lesson. And eventually you get tired of being dealt that type of hand, right? Over time, it becomes too burdensome until you're ready to just drop it and to release everything. And so I feel like life right now has been hitting you upside the head, giving you a whole lot of wake-up calls that you have tried to drown yourself out from seeing through alcoholism. And these people, this lover, your parents, they have been a major stumbling block in your life, I feel, for a long time now. You live in the past and you're recreating it through new people. Didn't I say that already? You live in the past and you are recreating it through new people. So again, not releasing the past and holding on to those things that took place in your childhood at the hands of your parents or whoever else was in your life. You attract lovers to you, you attract friends to you, you attract co-workers to you, you attract scenarios in your life that are a repeat of what took place in the past, because your mind, remember, the mind is very powerful, and what you think about habitually, your dominant thoughts, is what you actually create, because we've been given the authority to be the co-creators of our lives. And so either you're going to consciously co-create and create those things that you desire and that you deserve, or you're going to co-create and create those things that you don't want. But this is what, either way, you're still a part of, your thoughts are still going to remain a major factor in how things are playing out for you. And so what you're being called to do at this time is to release the past and to heal from the past, so that you can begin to clear your mind and clear your thoughts, so that moving forward, you can start visualizing those things that you do want and creating those things, consciously creating those things from a higher level of consciousness, as a healed being, as somebody who is expanding and developing, somebody who is growing, and are giving yourself permission to learn those things that you feel that you lack. Let's see what else is coming out. I'm going to pull from another deck to see how this is affecting you and give you some advice. Okay, that's too many. Give you some advice on how to proceed forward. Ooh, y'all got a lot coming out. There's so much I feel that you have that needs to be talked about. You haven't been outside enough. You've been spending a lot of times indoors, whether it's going straight from work and coming home, and then, you know, at home, you don't want to face the fact that you're unhappy at home. And so rather than being in your sobriety and seeing things for what it is, you go straight to alcohol. So you might come home and the first thing you do is pick up your bottle, you know, a bottle of alcohol or whatever it is that you drink, to numb yourself out, so that you don't have to face the fact that you're unhappy with this lover who you know has very toxic energy, because we're seeing that there's a lower level entity attached to that lover. And so naturally, that lover is playing out that entity. Whatever that entity is that is attached to them is affecting you in your personal life, especially if this is somebody that you live with or somebody that you are around on a regular basis. But even if you wasn't, that soul tie, that connection that you create on a sexual level, you're carrying that back home with you. Okay? And so this person is also using you for your money. So you feel, okay, well, as long as I have my bottle of alcohol, as long as I have a place to lay my head, you know, this is just what life has dealt me. I don't deserve anything better because I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. My parents never loved me. They never treated me well. They always put me down. You know, so many things from my past took place that I haven't been able to heal from. You know, whatever the case may be, you don't want to have to face it. And so you stay at home. You stay within the four walls of your home, and it's not good for you because it's not allowing you to be more expansive and to receive the messages that are coming in. Nature is very healing. Okay, it's very grounding, it's very stabilizing, and it helps you to get rooted again. Right now, you're very disconnected and detached. And so when you're detached from nature, then you're detached from self. And if you're detached from self, then you're definitely detached from the spiritual aspect of who you are. And so it's like, it's so many layers that get affected, so many parts of you that gets blocked out when you're in this lower vibrational energy, okay? So let's see. You do have here, you overwork to avoid facing the truth. So some of you are definitely workaholics. That's another addictive behavior that you do in order to avoid the fact. Facing the truth would mean facing that person who is that lover that's always using you, or those parents who's always abusing you or mistreating you or talking down to you or using you for what you have. And then when you don't have it to give, then suddenly they pull back their love. You know, it's that trauma bonding energy. Whatever the case may be, you find yourself overworking to try to avoid what's really happening with you. Avoiding, just to avoid facing the truth of what's going on. You refuse to accept the truth. So anything that'll keep you in an energy where you're distracted from paying attention and facing the truth, that's what you do. Whether it be having sex, whether it be overindulging, whether it be through overworking, this is what you're doing to avoid the truth. But you have here, you are awakening. And so, in spite of your efforts, you're still being called to awaken from sleep. And so I feel that largely this is why you're trying to avoid the truth, because awakening means that the truth is being shown to you. Whether you see the entire picture or even a partial bit of the picture is being shown to you some way, shape, or form. And so it might be a lot for you to deal with, but just understand that you need to be put into that place where things feel uncomfortable. Okay? Because uncomfortable situations actually allows you to get up and make a change. Or it'll cause you to put you, you will force yourself into this energy of doing everything possible to avoid it. But you know what's going to happen? The more you try to avoid it and numb yourself out from it, the more the Most High is going to send in scenarios that's going to make you and force you to address it and to free yourself from it, because you are being called to awaken at this time. There's things that you need to be doing. You have a calling, you have a divine purpose and a divine path that you are supposed to be taking at this time. And this path is telling you, I strongly feel that it's telling you that you are supposed to be releasing your parents, mother or father or both, okay? Because they are a stumbling block, which means they are that mountain. They are something that's standing in the way of you moving towards your divine path. You are supposed to be releasing that lover who is holding on to a lower level entity, a demonic entity that is within this lover, because they're very materialistic. They're very much so in their ego. They can't see anything about themselves. They don't even understand the spiritual aspect of themselves, nor do they care to understand the spiritual aspect of themselves. They're more focused in on what they can get and who they can get it from. And if they can't get it from you, then the fact that they're using you for your money means that the moment that you run out, the moment that you pull back and you start saying no, this person is going to turn into that same demon that's attached to them. It's going to rear its ugly head. Or this person is going to go and find someone else that they can latch on to. Okay? Someone else that they can latch on to in order to get money, because they're codependent and very materialistic. And so you're being called in your awakening to face the fact that these people mean you no good, and that these are karmic energies in your life that was placed around you to keep you from finding out who you are. And so in that awakening, there's a part of you that does not want to accept it, because you feel that if you release these people, suddenly you're not going to have anyone. Suddenly, then what worth do you have? Because so far, your worth has been what you can bring to the table. How much money you can come home with after doing all of that work and, working hard in order to avoid the truth. You're a workaholic, and so apparently you're bringing in a certain amount of money. And so these people have expectations from you on a materialistic level. You deserve better than that. You deserve more than that. But see, people are only going to treat you the way that you allow them to treat you. And also they're going to treat you the way that you treat yourself. Let's see, we got 3 cards. You are still grieving. So there's something that you are still grieving from. And a large part of the drinking is to avoid having to face the fact that you have taken some losses. Whatever these losses are, whether you lost a loved one, someone that could have passed away in your life that you really cared about, or whether you lost a business, or whether you lost a friend, or whatever the case may be, okay? You're still grieving the loss of some things. You could be grieving the loss of your childhood. If you never had a childhood and you had to grow up too fast because your parents was very detached emotionally, and they put a lot of pressure on you and a lot of responsibility on you. They placed a lot of pressure on you for you to be the one to bear the burdens of those things that they themselves could not do, because they was too focused in on ego, or they was too focused in on materialism. Because if they're still in that energy today, years later, and you're an adult, then that means that they was probably even further into that energy when they was younger. Okay? And so there's some growth that they have yet to do. And they may not make it to doing that in this lifetime. That's just the reality of this thing. Narrow is the way. Only few are called to take the narrow path. But I feel like those of you who are drawn to listen to this message, you have been called to take another direction. And down that narrow path, only you can take that path. No one else can go with you. And if you are able to take some people with you, it's going to be very few. Very few. So you will have to release along the way when you are being called to step into your divinity. Because this is a great assignment that you have, that you are ignoring. But life, because you are being awakened, life circumstances is hitting you upside the head to say, no, you can't sleep anymore. You cannot press the snooze button on this anymore. And even through your alcoholism, you still can't ignore it. Even through, I don't care how numb you get, even in that energy, you still can't ignore the facts and the truth that's being revealed to you about these people in your life and about those things that you need to heal within. And so there's no escaping it. What you have to do is embrace the fact that you're being called to change. You're being called to take a new direction and to make changes in your life. Chaos brings change, but change is necessary for growth. You can't grow without change. And so you've become too comfortable with being uncomfortable. But now it's time to take your power back and to know that you deserve happiness. It is such thing as having a life full of happiness where love and peace and abundance is the dominant energy. Yeah, you'll still have a couple of stumbling blocks along the way, but it's not normal for that to be the dominant energy of your life. Pain, heartbreak, backstabbing energy, being mistreated and used. No, those are things that you went through in order to develop you so that you can see and grow and learn and take your power back and understand the importance of releasing those types of energies from your life as an act of self-love. Because in acting from a place of self-love, you free your hands to receive those blessings that have been stored up for you. Many of you was the black sheep in your family, and you was always treated differently. You always felt differently. You knew that there was something different about you. And so this is why you was always set aside, or you felt unheard or unnoticed. And that the offers, you might have tried to make offers to your parents in terms of your emotions, and they might have told you, well, no, that's too emotional. Straighten up, especially for the men, the masculines, or for the females. You might have been told, well, you need to get over it. Your emotions might have been ignored in those times that you tried to come forward and to express those things that you felt. And so eventually you built up this wall that's become so thick that even now you have to go through a particular cycle in order to break that wall down. It's going to take some time, but you have to first be willing to put in the effort to do it. You got to start somewhere, and starting means that you say, okay, I'm going to start releasing bad habits, people, and places from my life. That's where I'm beginning right now. I'm going to take the first step to know that if I release these people, this is going to be the breakthrough that I need in order to begin the healing process. That's where I feel you need to start, okay? This says you have isolated yourself due to trust issues. So you've isolated yourself from a lot of people in your life because you don't trust people. And naturally, it's because you have people around you that's been using you, taking advantage of your good heart and your good nature, okay? You have people around you that have been maybe even abusing you and trying to make you feel worthless or inferior. These types of people have been in your life because you've attracted them in order to awaken. Again, it says you've attracted the same type of people that was in your past from your childhood in order to show you the importance of releasing those types of people. So this says they never wanted to see you grow. You got people around you that never wanted to see you outgrow the situations that you're in. They never wanted to see you stand in your power. Why would they want to see you stand in your power? The moment you take your power back, they lose their protection. The moment you take your power back, the karmic debt that they have incurred within this lifetime, they now have to begin to pay it back. And they have to face that karmic debt because they know that they have mistreated you. They know that they have used and abused you. But as long as you hold on to them and have that codependency and that umbilical cord to them, then they receive their life source energy through you. But what's happening is while they sitting over there, you know, thinking that they living on high heel because they're taking your money, they're taking your energy, they're taking your divine purpose. They're trying to take everything from you, and it makes them feel, it inflates their ego and makes them feel powerful on on behalf of your pain. But the moment you pull yourself back from these people, you take your power back and you give yourself permission to love. You give yourself permission to be free. You give yourself permission to be respected. You create healthy boundaries for yourself. You establish yourself because you know that you've been placed here to have so much more. And then these people have to go through exactly what it is that they have put you through. And so there might be some part of you that doesn't want to see them have to deal with their karma. But just know that if you don't release them, then you end up having to take on and bear the burden of the karma that they have called to themselves, as well as the karma that you're calling to yourself because you still refuse to heal. And so you end up in a position where every other day you got problems. Every other day you're arguing. Every other day you're being reminded that you're no good. Every other day, it's just drama. You got to release these people that's trying to use you for everything that you have. They're trying to drain you of your life source energy. You're so much stronger than what you know or what you have actually allowed yourself to believe because you've allowed someone to coin you and to put an identifier on you that was false. That is a case of false identity. They told you that you was nothing. They told you that you was less than. They told you that you had no divine purpose. They told you that you was not strong enough and that you would never be anything without them, but they lied to you. And in your sobriety, you will be able to see that. But as long as you continue to numb yourself out, it's going to be the process is going to be that much longer. I just want to pull and see in regards to this lover, the lover that you're dealing with, whether it's a sexual partner or someone that you find yourself in a long-term connection with. What is this lover's intentions towards you? Because we see that they're using you for your money. What is this lover's intentions towards you? Look at this. The Page of Pentacles came out in the reverse. They don't want you to have anything, okay? This is all about, the Pentacles deals with money, okay? They want to take everything from you. And sometimes this could, Page of Pentacles can also be a child. So some of them might be trying to really take advantage of you because they might have a child with you. Okay? They don't want to heal. They don't want to see this relationship come to an end. They refuse to let you go because the Death card is in the reverse. They refuse to allow this thing to come to an end. But at the same time, it's like they reject your love. They reject your love anytime you try to be more open to this person. They reject your love because a part of them actually gets a thrill out of seeing you hurt. A part of them gets a thrill out of rejecting you because it makes them feel more powerful. And they know that you have a codependency on the relationship because you don't feel as if you're good enough to have anything better than them. What else is going on in terms of the intentions of this lover? What are their intentions towards you? These are important things for you to know because the more that you are fed the truth and the more that you accept it and embrace it, the quicker you are to release yourself so that you can actually move towards your happiness, okay? This person has options, okay? They're window shopping. This person is out here, whatever it is that they want, they go and get it. This person is not loyal. This person is not faithful, okay? This person has options, okay? And they want to weaken you. With the Strength card being in the reverse at the bottom of the deck, they want to weaken you. I told you they want to take your life source energy. They don't want to see you happy because they know that without them, you will be very financially abundant, very independent. You don't have to depend on anybody. Technically, you don't have to be codependent on anyone when it comes to materialistic resources, I feel. For most of you. But then there's some of you that in their absence, you create this abundance for yourself because then you don't have them over trying to be a lynch, trying to take everything, or trying to be a leech, trying to take everything that you have. So then you're able to plant seeds and watch the harvest grow. and you're able to be independent and self-sufficient without having these people around, wanting to, every time you look up, they trying to ask for a pentacle. They need more money. Let me get let me get something else. Or if they have a child with you, well, little JoJo, he needs this now and he needs that now, trying to guilt trip you about your children, for some of you. So this person, they want to weaken you. They don't want to see you in your power or in your strength here. Whoever this lover is. Let me pull one more card in terms of this lover's intentions towards you, okay? It's time to release these people from your life. Okay, 2 cards came out. This person, they know that you have a divine calling here. Whoever this person is, because we have the 7 of Swords, this person is very sneaky and very deceptive in their energy, okay? Very, very deceptive in their energy. And see, they don't want you to know that they're out here actually being disloyal to you and that they have a lot of options, okay? This person knows that you have a divine calling. Some of you have a calling to be teachers or to be healers, okay? Because the sun is all about healing. And this is about an institution, a teacher, somebody that's put into a position of authority to teach others. This person, they don't want you to see that. And so it's almost as if they're trying to they're trying to keep you distracted so that you will never move towards your divine purpose. If they can keep you in this energy of being confused and feeling weak all the time, like you're not strong enough and not confident enough to move towards your purpose, that's the distractor. That's what they was placed here to do in your life. Yeah, this person, for some of you, you will be a masculine. You're a man who has a woman in your life who is a straight out bitch. I just have to put it out there like that. The Queen of Swords in reverse is nothing nice at all. She's very flipped with her mouth. She's very disrespectful in the way that she speaks to you. She puts you down. She's a liar. Okay, this is somebody who's just very nasty in her energy. And so, yes, that lower level entity that's attached to her, it comes through in a way that's very wicked in the way that she presents herself to you. Just evil, very evil and very disrespectful. And the only thing that she wants from you is your money. So you want to definitely keep that in mind. Keep in mind the type of person that you're laying next to. This is not somebody that you can trust at all. Okay, it's like that. It's like sleeping with the enemy. You cannot trust this person. She will steal from you. She will lie to you. She will cheat on you. She's out here having all of these options and all of these different selections while you sitting back in this energy feeling weak, feeling like you're not good enough or not smart enough because you're drowning yourself in pain. You're still grieving. So many things that you've yet to heal from, and she's taking advantage of that. And further, kicking you while you're down. You got to let that heifer go. Whoever that is, male or female, it's time for you to release that person out of your life so that they can go on and learn the lessons that they need to learn and to understand that it's not okay to treat people like that. You got to take your power back and start establishing self-love, establishing healthy boundaries for yourself. Even if you have a child with this person, okay, fine. Let them take you to child support court because I feel that you'll actually be more stable in that way. She probably taking more from you absent child support than it would be if you had an established document or court order. Like I said, that's for some of you but I feel like a lot of you, this is for a masculine, but if it's not, then take it how it resonates, okay? But this is just somebody who's very wicked, okay? She doesn't want things to close out. She doesn't want you to heal. She wants you to always have abandonment issues. She want to take from you. Oh my gosh, this is just a nasty individual. So let me see what's going on with the parents here. Concerning your parents, what are their intentions towards you? Because you have here your parents are your stumbling block. So look at this. We have the 5 of Pentacles in the reverse. And then the Ace of Cups in the reverse. They want you to always feel as if you have to be dependent on them. It's like again, trauma bonding. They keep you in this energy of feeling abandoned. And then they come back in and nurture you. or applaud you for something. Maybe you go and do something for them financially. Maybe you're paying their bills or doing something for them because you feel like this is all that you have to give, because that's the only time that they really acknowledge you as their child, is when you're doing something for them. So it's like they keep you in this energy of feeling abandoned, and then they bring you out of the cold. They put you out into the cold and then they pull you back in. Okay, that could be literally, or, if you don't live with your parents, then it's more like this energy of, we give you our love and affection when you're doing something for us, but when you're not, we pull that back. And so it keeps you in this energy where you're constantly emotional, okay? And it's blocked off your heart. Your heart chakra is blocked because of what your parents have done. They have been the stumbling block in terms of your love life. You have not been able to establish healthy relationships in your life because of what you've seen your parents go through as a couple, or if they were separated, however the case may be. It's something about your parents that has caused your heart to be blocked off, because you never felt that the love that you tried to show them was accepted or received. They always blocked it. And so you always felt abandoned by your parents. Even if you grew up with them, you never felt like you was accepted. That is the black sheep. That is you being the one that's set aside and preserved. That's you. That is a strong identifier for the chosen. When you was always that one that was just different, that was set aside, that was mistreated, that was never noticed or recognized for all of the beautiful things that you did, that was always used and abused and misused, all of these things. That is a marker to let you know that you are a chosen seed. You have a divine purpose, and your parents were placed around you with a certain energy to keep you from awakening to that, and to keep you always in this space of feeling as if love doesn't really exist. And self-love, what is that? I'm not good enough. I'm good enough for just working. They weaken you. They make you not want to put up a fight. They put you in this position where you feel defenseless. You feel powerless around your parents. Because in the upright, this is somebody that's standing their ground. But with your parents, you always feel as if you're not able to defend yourself. You're not able to stand up for yourself. It's something about your parents that causes you to feel weakened underneath whatever stronghold it is that they have over you. And for some of you, they might even live in your home. Yeah, this could be oh my gosh. Your parents, they might even live in your home. We got the devil here. We got the emperor in the reverse. And then we have the four of wands. This indicates a home. Your parents, if they live in your house, you have a father that is very controlling. He's a narcissist, is what I'm seeing here with the devil card being here. And the emperor in the reverse, he is extremely controlling. The emperor in the reverse can also be someone who is very abusive. So he could have been the type of person that would abuse your mother if they was together, or abuse the women that he was with. But this is somebody who is very, very controlling. A father figure who's very controlling, who his heart is completely closed off. And so since a child, you felt defenseless against him because he was always trying to intimidate you, always trying to make you feel as if you had to back down to him. There was nothing that you can do to defend yourself. And so even in adulthood, you have carried that with you. These people might live in your house with the Four of Wands here. And so they are benefiting from the hard work that you put in, if that's the case. Like I said, take it how it resonates. This is not the case for everyone, but this is what I'm hearing for some of you, because I feel that this message might be very specific, okay? And so they don't want to see you move forward. They don't want you optimistic about your future with this card being in the reverse. They want you to always look at the future from a pessimistic standpoint, because they themselves was not successful in those things that they wanted to do. And they know that when you step into your power and take your power back, you're going to excel. You're going to go beyond those things that they attempted to do. And that's what parents should want for their children. But unfortunately, we're not always placed here, especially those of us who are chosen. Most of the time, we're placed here with family members who are not our true soul tribe. They're not our true soul family. They're your karmic family that was placed here to be a stumbling block in your life, to help awaken you through those lessons. But they cause a lot of pain. And many of them, they don't want to release that codependency that they even have on your energy, because a large part of them knows that based on all the wicked things that they did to try to keep you chained and bound to them, once you release and once you take your power back and stand up for yourself and establish those healthy boundaries for yourself, then they have to face all of those things that they did to you and all of those things that they did to others. It's something about your father figure, though. who is very overbearing in his energy, very abusive in his energy, a lot of toxicity, very wicked though, with the devil coming out with this father figure, and definitely a narcissist, okay? That does not want to see you move forward. They don't want to see you move towards your success. They want to weaken you with the Nine of Wands in the reverse. They want to weaken you because in the upright, this is somebody who's been through hell and back, but they still persevering and they're not giving up. This father figure wants you to give up on everything. They don't want to see you persevere, okay? They want to weaken everything. They want to block out. They're even trying to block out your forward movement, okay? Like literally doing things purposely and maliciously to try to block out your forward movement. And for a lot of you, there's a feminine energy who's a straight out bitch, who is very disrespectful and flip at the mouth. She might even be an air sign, what is it, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. But it doesn't have to be an air sign. But this is somebody who is a user. She's an abuser. She's a liar. She's a cheater. Okay, she tries to use your children against you if you have children together. She doesn't want. She's always trying to guilt trip you. Okay. So let me just pull one more card for the parents' energy, and then I'm going to pull for some advice because it's already been almost an hour. It's a lot that needed to be talked about, but I really hope that this resonates with you all and that you really are able to gain some clarity here. So your parents are definitely money hungry. You have a masculine. This could be your father figure who just wants to drain you of your financial abundance, okay? The King of Pentacles in the reverse is somebody that wants to drain you of your financial wealth. They themselves will do anything for money, okay? And even at the expense of hurting you. Anything for money, okay? They don't want to see you move forward. They want to block out your forward movement with the Eight of Wands in the reverse, okay? What's at the bottom here? But you're being called to walk away from these people. You are being called to leave these people, places, and things behind so that you can go towards your happiness, so that you can walk towards your Nine of Cups, okay? But there's a part of you that's fearful because you don't know what's on the other side of that. And you know that walking away means that you have to take this path alone. And so a large part of you fears being alone. Even though you've isolated yourself from these people, there's still a stronghold that they have over your life that has been blocking you from your forward movement, okay? And so this is why it's time for you to take your power back and to cut the cords with these people physically and spiritually. You can write it down and burn it. I release XYZ. You can put their name in there. I release this person from my life. I release any and all people, places, and things that have been strongholds and stumbling blocks for my forward movement in spirit and in flesh, and you burn it, setting the intentions that as you watch that flame go up, everything that was attached to that connection and every burden, every emotion, every fear, part of fear or guilt or trauma bonding, all of those things is going up into flames, and you send it out into the universe saying it is no longer yours. You got to take your power back and do things like that in order to establish yourself and to ensure that these people are released from your life, okay? Because you are powerful enough to make that transition. The longer you hold on to them, the more lessons you're going to find comes into your life to really show you the importance of releasing. So let me see, what advice can I give you right now? You have here control coming out in the reverse and completion in the reverse. So you have not been able to complete this cycle. There's certain things that you have not been able to see about yourself because you have not been listening to your intuition. It's time for you to let go of control. Release control of the situation and release those people in your life that's trying to control you with this card coming out in the reverse. What else can I give you in terms of advice? Yeah, it's time to clear your mind and to free your mind of these situations, people, places, and things. You got a lot of toxic thoughts that's going on, like I said, from your past. Holding on to a lot of things from your past that it's time for you to release. And so this is why it's so important for you to write these things down and burn them. Because it's too toxic for you at this time. You're overthinking. You're probably losing sleep. So many things is going on. Yeah, you're in this place of nostalgia. It's like, and so you're thinking back in your past a lot, okay? A lot of thinking back into your past. Maybe you're even thinking about a relationship that you might have missed an opportunity on because you find yourself being attached to so many karmic people that you have a hard time letting go of because they try to guilt trip you. And so if you're going to think about the past, make sure that they're memories that are loving, that as you're creating, because again, like I told you, your thoughts, you're constantly creating every time you have a thought. And the dominant thoughts that you have is creating the dominant energy that you see unfold and manifest in the physical. And so you want to consider that. So if you're going to be in this energy of nostalgia or thinking back or thinking about your love life, then create a scenario for yourself in your mind, because the sky is the limit. Create a scenario in your mind that feels good, and it's something that you actually want to create. You want it to actually come to pass. That's how you become the co-creator of your life, and you do it from a conscious level, okay? And then again, with this card here, the toxicity that's happening within your mind, like I said, if you're over drinking, or even if drinking is not your thing, but you find yourself smoking or doing some sort of pleasure-seeking behavior, it's really very toxic for you right now. Physically, it's toxic for your vessel, and so you want to be very careful with that in terms of your health. You have here compromise. This came out in the reverse. So whoever this partner is that you have, I'm advising you that there is no compromising with this person, because this person is very resistant to that. They are in your life strategically to be a stumbling block so that you will never rise into your divinity. This thing is spiritual before it is physical. And so understand that you're not going to be able to compromise with this person, and this is why you have to take your power back and establish it through another means, okay? And so again, if this person is using you or trying to use a child against you in order to take from you in some way, shape, or form, then you need to go ahead and take your power back. Go get you an attorney if you can afford to do so, and take them to court. Establish it on paper so that you don't have to deal with them. You know, sometimes you just have to move different when you're dealing with these type of people, because these are people that's refusing to heal and that don't want to see you heal. Let me pull another one for advice here. Look at this. You have the rebel. It's time for you to break free, okay? It's time for you to break free, because you're being called to move towards a divine connection here. Somebody that you have a very strong spiritual connection with the number 7 being down there. 7 is a number of spirituality. Okay, you have a divine connection, a divine partner. You're supposed to be breaking free. You're supposed to be releasing yourself from those chains that have kept you bound with these people that's been in your life that have meant you no good. And so you're being called to be the rebel, to take back your power. Okay, to shine some light on those things and to burn through, like I said, release and burn through those things so that you can break them chains. Be the generational curse breaker. You know, you are the black sheep, and so that means that you was established to be the generational curse breaker in your family, and to do something different, and to not allow conditioning or other people's false expectations of you to cause you to never step into your divinity, and then you pass that down to your child, making your child believe, or your children believe, that they're not worthy of being the best version of themselves, because you yourself did not take advantage of the opportunity when it was constantly being presented to you. Instead, you decided to drown in the mess and to stay in it until your last breath. That's not what you want. You wasn't called to do that. You are being called right now to awaken and to release and to free yourself, to break the generational curses, okay? I'm going to pull one more card and I'm going to close out. One more for advice. Okay, 2 came out. So this is what's coming out. Laziness. You see this man is sitting here drinking. He has a false sense of security. He's pretending, he's unseeing the fact that he's not comfortable where he is, but he's pretended, he's made himself believe that he's comfortable. You see all this glass around him? There's nothing comfortable about it. It's dangerous even, okay? And so this man has made himself believe. He's sitting there, he's eating unhealthy, he's not getting outside. I told you all, you're not getting outdoors. And so it's like he has created a false sense of comfort and security for himself that's really not realistic, okay? And I feel like that's what has happened for you all. You did this in order to try to ignore it, but now you're being called to break free, become that lion. And this is saying rebirth. So you're being called to transform and to become and to heal that inner child, okay? To heal that inner child up there and to become as bold as this lion right here, so that you can actually release yourself from the strongholds and the grip of these people who did not want to see you move towards your divinity. Okay, and so that's what I have for you all. I hope that this message is able to reach whoever it is that was supposed to receive it. And again, if this is not your message, please feel free to share it with someone that you feel will benefit from it. Thank you all for liking and subscribing to my channel. I love you, and I will talk to you all next time.